So I'll show you some of the ridges here, Pennsylvania. Allegheny Front, you have Stoystown, Fairhope, Hooversville. This would be the Allegheny Front right here. Rocky Gap State Park is pretty cool. That's where I saw Willie Nelson play for the first time. But we're going to move here. And you can see that these are similar anticlines, synclines. Somerset, where I'm from. Ligonier, Latrobe. So you can see these two ridges here. There's the Laurel Mountain, Hugh Creek, that's where the mine rescue site was at, if you remember the 9 for 9 miners. Somerset, my birthplace, right there. I'm going to Ligonier. I'm going to zoom in a little bit here. Here's Laurel Mountain. You can see at the ridge here, this coming up is Chestnut Ridge. Go to Blairsville a little bit here. You see it's like a big ripple of rock. And when we get here to Idlewild, and we're going to go in through the Loyalhanna Gorge, I'll show you a little bit of history here. So we're going to go in here. This right here right now, of course, is the quarry that you see that when you come in, the modern one. I read where they had to close some of it down because there's Native American artifacts they found in some of the caves. They broke into an area. And this is Route 30 that goes down through. On this side here, by what you call Buttermilk Falls, there's an access point, and you can climb up in here. My neighbor actually worked here back in the 19 teens and 1920s, and most of the stone that you get from Pittsburgh, the Blue Rock, was mined right here. So we're going to go down in through here along the Loyalhanna. Gives you a real feel for it, doesn't it? Give you a beautiful feel. This is Rock Hollow. So we're going to go down in here along Route 30. We're going to follow her all the way through. Down here. You find it, you get to a spot right here at Sleepy Hollow. This is St. Clair Hollow. If you've all seen that in the past, you know where I'm at. Zoom out. And right up here, it's not on here yet, but there's a trailhead, and you can go up this way to right here, across from the quarry, is what they call Valerie Hills, Valerie Falls. Right up in here, the area where I'd hiked up to. So you're down here, you're going to climb your way up here. You can't tell from the looks of it now that those rocks were eroded away by water. You get the feel for this ridge. It's a Bolivar, Torrance, Blacklick, or another river goes through here. So how did the water, these streams, how did it cut through a mountain? Was this all dammed up at one time in between the Laurel Mountain and the Chestnut Ridge? And it was just a big lake that the water flowed through here at Johnstown and at Blacklick and at Donegal. And again, down here. No. This area was in fact at one time totally flat, and there were rivers that went all the way out to the west coast. Not to the west coast, but mainly to, like, let's say, areas like, if you see in the petrified forest, they found some of the minerals from those actual petrified trees came from this area. So this was actually a massive mountain as well. And the streams, its base would have been around here, the Bedford. So its streams flowed down across. And as these built up, the rivers cut through it. In wind gaps, it became water gaps and so forth. Very similar. This would have been a mountain peak. You would have it's an incline and anticline right here. And Ligonier would have been pretty much the center of the mountain. So these rivers, streams, the Occoganey, the Loyalhanna, and of course the Conemaugh. Loyalhanna being my favorite though, to come down here and see the erosion up on these points. Are older than the mountains. They're millions, if not hundreds of millions of years old. A little bit of history for you.